Greetings guys, back at the movies and back in Sydney at the lovely State Theatre, and tonight we have been invited to the brand new Damien Chazelle motion picture thanks to Paramount Pictures Australia, and that is Babylon. It stars Margot Robbie, who just happens to be here tonight and presenting the film for us, and it also stars Brad Pitt. Extremely looking forward to this film. It's got a lot of awards buzz around it, and we're just about to head in and check this film out. Hopefully you enjoy the footage in the meantime, and I'll be back after this to let you know my thoughts on the film and to give you a review of the movie. Talk to you soon. Hey guys.
Hi everyone.
Hey guys, can you take inside please?
to the Australian premiere of Babylon.
First up, we have Phoebe Tonkin. How you doing? Next up, we have none other than Samara.
We have Diego Calva. And last but not least, this is a very special introduction to me. You may know her work and her accolades. And I think it's a testament to her relationships with her family and friends, many of whom are here tonight. I would like, after all of that, she's still not Mom's favorite. I would like you all to be introduced to Margot Robbie.
Don't you reckon, guys? Just a tad. We're related. We are related, so it makes sense. It makes sense.
I apologize. Diego, I'm a bit nervous. I was just like,
I actually checked everyone, like the pronunciation of everyone's names earlier today. He said Diego Calva perfectly earlier, but
I'm so sorry, man. I'm fangirling him. After watching him in this film, I am like,
he's the star of the show.
He's the star of the show, mate. It is phenomenal acting. What was your experience? This is sort of your first sort of Hollywood film. How do you enjoy it?
First of all, it's my first time here in Australia.
Oh God, I love this crowd.
Oh, that's a cool. Well, this is my first big movie, and I had the chance to work with these talented people, so I just feel that I finally can call myself an actor.
Did you all have a chance to work together on set?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't get to work with Diego. Yeah. Well, Phoebe, Sam and I are very good friends in real life, so we get to spend a lot of time together in real life. And I got to do scenes, not directly, you were kind of unconscious. No spoilers, but you'll see. Just brace yourself for what you're about to experience. This movie is a lot, just get on board.
And Phoebe, I heard that your wild day of shooting was actually kind of really wild in real life, was it?
Well, I mean, wild in that I think it was the most people I'd seen since COVID, and not just people, naked people for the most part at this party, and fake elephants, and there was a live band. So I think my head was just like doing 360s all day. I mean, it was visually the most insane thing I'd ever seen in my life, let alone having been in, quarantined for the last kind of year and a half. It was really surreal, but incredible.
So Damien Chazelle, he described this film as a love letter to the art of filmmaking. And I am curious, you're all in the film industry. What was it for you that kind of inspired you to join the film industry? Was it like a movie? Was it an actress, an actor?
As soon as I realised I could dress up and play make-believe as a job, I thought, okay, great, I'll do that. So.
And Margot, what was it like with Nellie Roy, your character in this? What? I'm not going to ask you that. I just want to know what the process was for the character.
Stitch up coming, and I'm just waiting.
I'm done, I'm all outside.
What was it like for Ellie? She's wonderful. Probably my favourite character I've ever played. She's a fictional character. Almost everyone is a fictional character in this movie, but inspired by real life people, and everything you see in this movie is inspired by real life stories. It was madness 100 years ago making movies, And it was very fun to kind of, yeah, like you said, like do this as a job. It was insanity every day on set, but everything you see, you're gonna be like, this is so extreme. There's no way it was actually like that. It was like that. You know, they were doing, you know, they were making it up as they went along. You know, they were figuring out how to make movies, and it was dangerous, and it was debaucherous, and it was crazy, and it was beautiful and tragic, and it is, like I said, a wild ride. But Nellie very much encapsulates the energy of Babylon, and she is a bit of a tornado, so I had a lot of fun.
That sounds amazing. So you're all going to see this very soon, but as you mentioned, cinematic experience, it's a feast, it's elaborate, the sets are huge. Was any of it, because, okay, I talked to Margot outside and I asked about a snake. This is going to make no sense. There was a snake charmer here, but there is a snake in the film, and you told me it was real. Was there any CGI in the film, or was all the film, like everything, the grand scale of it, was it all like real life?
Very minimal CGI in this film. Damien, and this is all shot on film. I mean, Damien, our director, and he wrote the script too, is an absolute, you know, purist. He's a cinephile, and he absolutely believes in doing everything practically. So when you see an explosion, that was an explosion. When you see a snake, that was a snake, except for certain moments, and you will. There are some moments of that where you're going to know why that was not a real snake. But everything else, when you see hundreds of extras in the background of a shot when they're making a film in film, they were all actually there, which in this day and age is just, it's so rare. Like the CGI is everything, even crowds and people. So it was an epic set to be on, and it's an epic film to watch.
Amazing. And Diego, I'm curious, when you first read the script, before you knew a lot about the project, what was your initial reaction to Manny?
Oh, to Manny, because my first reaction with the script was like, this is not possible. Who can make this unreal? And to Manny, I got like super excited because I realized that I didn't have like a face of a Latino character, you know, like a producer or director or like a Mexican guy, famous or successful doing like in my country story about movies, it started like literally every time the Americans went to war. So like 10 years after. And that got me really excited to finally put like a name and a face to all the Latino community working already in the movies back in the day.
So we would love to get a photo with all of you here. Now, everyone has their phones hopefully right next to them.
We haven't let you know, but we'd love you to be a part of this experience. This film is an ode to movie magic and cinematic experience. And if you have a phone and you've got a flashlight on your phone, we'd love for you to get it out and put it on and face it this way. We're going to have a picture with the cast here and be able to see a twilight zone behind us. So if you've got a phone, get it out now, snap your pictures, put on your lights. We really appreciate it.
You promise, it looks, you're all doing a great job. It looks really good.
Alright, I think we've got our photographer coming up here.
Beautiful.
Yeah, come to the center of the stage. Thank you guys so much for joining us on stage and telling us a bit about this. Thank you so much for being so patient. We will leave you waiting no longer. Enjoy Babylon!
Babylon. Diego Calva, Samara, Phoebe, Tonkin, and Margot Robbie.
Greetings once again, guys. Just got out of of the Australian and Sydney premiere of the brand new Damien Chazelle film, and that is Babylon, thanks to Paramount Pictures Australia. What a crazy film. It really is interesting kind of nod to the history of cinema, really, and it really does tell this kind of interesting and bizarre tale at times. The first act, completely brilliant in the way it's constructed. I think a lot of that is done through the storytelling and cinematography, courtesy of Damien Chazelle and Linus Sangran, who did most of the cinematography. There is quite an interesting look to this film. It was shot on 35mm film, and also in addition to that, we see this kind of overexposed look. It reminds me a lot of some of those early Francis Ford Coppola movies from the 70s, just this way that these pictures are kind of shown on screen. I think it's really interesting and intriguing, and it does keep the audience's attention. This film is a long one. It's about 3 hours, and I have to say it is quite self-indulgent, definitely have to say that. The first act, unbelievably, it's just full of pace, quite incredible, and a lot of that also is because of the time period it finds itself in, and that's pretty much from the mid-1920s till the late 1920s. That's when all the silent films were kind of getting done, and there's lots of debauchery and kind of depravity going on at the time. It is the 1920s. It kind of makes the Great Gatsby look very tame. It's really interesting the way everything kind of unravels. When we get to kind of the midpoint of the movie, we're already kind of looking at an industry that's kind of changing from silent pictures to the talkies, and kind of sound is really becoming quite prevalent at this period of time. So from there, it kind of does lose its way. It's amazing how the edit is constructed, really keeps the audience's attention, at least until the final act, and a little bit midway through the second act, it does lose its kind of way of touch, and that's a little bit unfortunate because there is a lot going for this film. It's just, it really doesn't have that plot that you can really bite into. There's some great performances in this. The star of the show, Margot Robbie, she is sensational. Just the way she throws herself into this, and the way she delivers these characters, I think it's fantastic. Also Diego Calva, he's really a surprise. Fantastic. Just his ability to emote on screen. First time I've seen him on screen, and I think he's really fantastic in this. And Brad Pitt, definitely an interesting kind of character piece. Well worth the kind of watch just for those three and the way their character arcs unravel. Once they do, though, I think the film does lose a bit of momentum, and it just becomes more of a love letter to Hollywood and kind of the industry that Damien Chazelle loves so much. But it does really lose a lot of momentum in that final act. At some points he throws a montage in that's kind of quite bizarre, and I'm not really sure what he's trying to get at. It's nearly like he's run out of ideas. But the rest of the film, really worth a watch, just for that kind of first half of the movie. It is just action-packed, and maybe they should have kind of really kept it in the 1920s and just into those early 1930s, because that is kind of where the meat of this picture is, and I really do recommend seeing it regardless of that. It's just for those performances. Margot Robbie is sensational, and just so you know, a lot of these performances, even though they're like fiction, they're based off real life actors and true to life stories in some ways, even though the whole plot is quite a bit fiction. So it's amazing how they tell so many kind of interesting tales in that, but really Margot Robbie and Brad Pitt stand out tremendously in this film, and there's really a lot of nods to cinema lovers, but a lot of depravity and a lot of debauchery, and it is quite extreme at times, so just be prepared for that. Maybe not for the faint of heart, and I'll be surprised if it really does get a decent R rating in Australia. But yeah, it's really worth a watch, just for that high energy and that high pace, and Margot Robbie and Brad Pitt, really entertaining performances. Can't give them enough credit. Aside from that, I'm about to head off. I'll catch you guys at the next one.